My name's Mike CarTarL. I am community manager for Cyberbrokers, and I realized after watching all this, the first demo day should have been Cyberbrokers Mech avatars, because I'm jumping into a more complicated conversation than that. Shout out to a Gigazilla I see in the crowd, and a Frankenmech, which is a multiple types of parts all put together in the back, which JPEG is wearing. We released Cyberbroker Mechs earlier this year, 3D avatars, customizable with 6 different parts, 1.7 billion combinations. And I'll come back and demo that later. What I want to talk about today was attachables, and specifically things that are added to a VRM, but not covering the VRM. I kind of put wearables into the like shirts, gloves category. So I'm just going to talk about attachables, which I think are something easier to take care of first. And you've probably seen the attachable app in Hyperfy. So we have a collection coming out in fourth quarter called Mech Mods, which will be things that you can add to your mech. They will, not only be beautiful additions, which you'll see in a minute, but they'll also be used inside of our universe and in 3D worlds like this. So, when it comes to attachables, the easy route is to have a UI on the website that says, I want to wear this or this. And then we have a 3D pipeline that would add it and just update the VRM, the base VRM. Okay, that's the easiest approach. It's also the approach that works 100% of the time today. That approach, though, I don't think is where the future will be, because you want to be able to interact and change things as you're in world. So we've been looking at ways to kind of address that tech issue. And Jin was nice enough to, point us to some of the work that different organizations have done. And we've kind of honed in on the JSON approach. Attaching metadata to the NFT, the avatar, and then attaching JSON data to the wearable, that helps kind of merge the two automatically. So I want to take you into a Cyberbrokers world where I have 2 custom apps set up that will let you pick a mech. You can ignore that part if you don't want. But there are podiums or pedestals with mech mods on them, so attachables. So you can just click them and you'll see them get added in Hyperfy to your avatar. You'll also quickly see the issue. Attachables want to reference bones. Well, bones isn't where things get attached. The outer mesh, the skin, is where things get attached. So we need some standards on how to figure that out. And I'll explain more when we get into the room. Does that work for a setup, Jin?
Yes, sir. Let me just get the link and then I'll drop a portal right in front of the stage.
Okay.
So what's the slug? The last?
Cyberbrokers.
Just straight up?
Straight up.
Alrighty.
Easy as possible, right?
Yeah. Come back over here so you can lead us. Y'all, wait, chill.
And
I didn't even type it in yet.
and be careful, because Mr. Griff here can stomp on things.
Okay. No, it's not ready yet. It's not ready yet. Alright. Walk in line.
Okay, so as you join, you'll see some pedestals. Go ahead and approach one of the pedestals, the wings and the backpack, and you can click on them, and they will attach to the back of your avatar. So these are 3 examples of the Mech mod collection. They were awarded to players of our recent version beta game. And you'll start to see kind of the issue. If you start looking around, you'll notice that they don't place perfectly because their reference point is a bone, not the exterior mesh. So if you look on my left and my right, the basis for this idea came from Jin. Actually, do you know where? I never asked where the JSON idea came from.
Well,
Is
this
Jin
has
here?
been, yeah. Hey, yeah, I'm
Um,
here. Can you hear me?
yeah, where did the JSON idea come from?
A lot of places, honestly, like Voxels uses it, Webaverse uses it.
Okay,
Just like it's pretty common.
okay. So what we've been thinking is uh, adding to it and splitting the JSON a little bit. Um, so having the avatar have JSON that defines points where you can attach things, and then gives the coordinates and potentially rotations, depending upon if you want some styling um, of where things should go. Then the attachable would have its own JSON and modify that. So like a certain set of wings, you wouldn't want to touch or enter the mesh or the skin, but a different no, Aves, the coordinates would be a specific point on the mesh itself. So the key concept here is splitting up the JSON between the avatar NFT and the attachable NFT. So because the avatar is really the one who knows where you want things attached, whereas the wearable should reference that as a starting point, and then it will have style. So I'll take a baseball cap is probably a good example. Okay, so the avatar would say, here's where you should place a hat. The attachable might have different coordinates based upon a forward facing hat, or a backwards facing hat tilted down, or a hat moving to the left. So the attachable could define that in the style, but the avatar would have the base reference point to start with. And for us, this is important because we want to be able to do what you're doing here, which is you should be able to like shop for things in 3D worlds, and you should be able to try them on and see how they look on your avatar. And not to mention for us, for gamification, we want you add you add wings, and boom, now you can fly in the world, or you pick up this item and you get these capabilities. So you can't really do that with the base VRM approach. So this is just an example of what we're working on. The intention is we're going to come up with a custom Hyperfly app to demo the concept, and then we would love more feedback from people. Are there any questions?
What's the JSON rooted in if it's not bones?
It would be the skin location. So it would be up to the avatar to figure out where back, like top, should be. because certain, like if you look at our mechs, we have 50 different styles of mechs. So, we're going to have very different points on the back where we would prefer things are added. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
We got another question, more of a comment, but I agree. Some people are debating Eulers versus Quaternions.
Ah, yeah, I'm not technical like that, so you vote and tell me. To me, that's just a tech choice. I want to make sure it works.
Why don't we just
It's
do
actually
both?
it's Oilers, not Quaternions. I mean, sorry, it's Oilers, not Eulers.
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't want to get into that debate here.
The guy, he was a dude.
Vim is the best editor. Okay, so I think we should do both, and that tomorrow is the Avatar Wearables meetup at Metaverse Standards Forum.
Yep.
And this is exactly the kind of thing that the Metaverse Standards Forum, like for avatars, wants to focus on for the wearables fashion group. But also what you were saying, like attachables via the skin mesh, so true. And we have some HackMDs on that. So yeah, hit me up if anyone is really interested in avatar introp / wearable introp, because we have a whole knowledge base of this stuff, and feedback would be good. But I love how y'all are setting up a lab here for us to visibly see exactly what the issue is, and this should be like the meetup spot or part of it,
Yeah, and this world will get expanded. What you're seeing now, I'm gonna kind of put off to the side as like a sandbox area, but it'll be still accessible from this world. I think the other thing for us is, if you start adding, like let's pretend you put 3 attachments or wearables on your VRM and update your VRM. Now your VRM is going to go past heavy. So there's a piece of it which is also optimization of allowing the in-world to deal better with VRMs that aren't huge.
Yeah, definitely.
Any other questions? I love all these wings. This is awesome. Wait, I need a picture here.